The Director General, CEO, NABDA, and Director General, CEO, NBMA, and all other protocols respectively observed. Nice to connect with you again virtually. Um, my topic here is breaking the barriers of prejudices through science communication. The case of PBR cowpea. PBR is Podbora cowpea. So I'm going to take you through, first of all, defining what prejudices are, and then take you through what science communication means, and then bring the two together, you know, and then connect it to the case of Podbora resistant cowpea in Nigeria, how we went through, how we broke the prejudices, of course, against this technology, the technology of developing the Podbora cowpea and other GM crops, what we all went through before we got to where we are today. Now today we have a cowpea that has been developed, of course, and then has been approved for commercial release, and farmers are enjoying it all over Nigeria. So first of all, without much ado, what is prejudice? Prejudice is an assumption or an opinion about someone simply based on that person's membership to a particular group. It's an unfavorable opinion, of course, or feeling formed beforehand or without knowledge, thought, or reason. Any preconceived opinion that you have or feeling that you have against something, either favorable or unfavorable. And then unreasonable, it could also be unreasonable feelings, opinions, or attitudes, especially of a hostile nature, attitude of a hostile nature regarding an ethnic, racial, social, or religious group, or against any product in this case, such as the genetically modified products. Such attitudes considered collectively, you know, the war against prejudice is never ending, especially when it comes to the products of genetic modification method or products of modern biotechnology practice. As we have been experiencing all along, it's not just in Nigeria, in Africa, or it's a global phenomenon. It's everywhere, and it's not just only in this technology. All technologies, all science products, of course, they suffer this, you know, this kind of misinformation. They suffer a lot, you know, before the products are accepted, and you know, so it cuts across all research products of science must suffer, like the vaccines, you know, that we have, especially the COVID-19 vaccine. We have been experiencing all the conspiracy theories, you know, some in form of videos, some in form of pictures, you know, in all aspects, you know, in all ramifications. And even the vaccine for children that's, was developed long ago, and that has been helping them. We have so many vaccines, measles, for what? There's so many of them. But before they got accepted, they went through all this, hurdles here and there. So, and that is why communication, of course, science communication, educating the people, bringing the science close to the people, making them to understand, makes it better. So we are always like now advised that before you start any, research, science research project, you have to inculcate communication into it for better understanding of people. So it's good when people are carried along. You know, you can go into dialogue, you can do a lot of things. So now let's go into what science communication is, and let's look at it and see how we can apply it to what we're doing, especially we, the scientists. Science communication is a process that involves the sharing of information, wonderment, and then raising awareness of science related topics. You know, so if you don't share, if you and sharing, of course, not just giving but sharing, giving out the information and then receiving feedback, it works better. Effective science communication works better, you know, because if you don't give it out, how will people know and how will people appreciate what you're doing? And if you're going into, you're doing a research work, you're coming out with a product that you know will help people, will make an impact on the society. But if people don't have that information on time, if we don't translate it, so it's good to do translational research that of course will impact upon them and also impacts on the economy. And so it's usually good to, you know, bring in that communication aspect. Communication is two ways, it's a two-way thing. You're giving out and then you're getting feedback. Without feedback, you're going nowhere. So communication between scientists and the public is actually very crucial, especially about scientific researches. Look at these two drawings, you know, science communication. These are the scientists on the left and then the public, you know, on the right, of course. So it's always good, you know, to, you know, bring them together, you know, bring the science closer to people. People see science as an awkward thing, as, you know, as what is it, you know, it's not pleasant, it's not attractive. You know, most students avoid, you know, sciences because it's hard to understand. You know, you have to pay attention for you to really, you know, understand science. So we have to break down the jargons. Breaking down the jargons, you know, means a lot. If you break down the jargon, people will understand you better. So the communication is in many aspects. So why do we communicate? Why scientific communications? It helps scientists to give their work meaning in the eyes of their stakeholders. Farmers, who are those stakeholders? Those stakeholders, of course, are farmers, are policymakers, industry, consumers, then donors as well. And then note difference between information sharing, that's giving out, and then communication. Communication is getting it through. You are getting the feedback. You know, when you get it through, of course, you will receive feedback, and you will know, you know, whether there are challenges, whether your information is well taken. You know, if it's not well taken, then you need to improve on it. You need to do more. You know, so science communication is not about selling science products. It's not really about selling science product. It is about putting science into use by helping the public understand research results and then making informed, you know, decisions. Because when they understand your research results, of course, why you're doing it, what you're doing it for, you know, if once they understand it, of course, they can now take decision, and whatever decision they take, either going for your product or not going for it, is at an informed background, especially the policymakers that make policy. If they don't understand what we're doing, so their policies will not favor us. So we need to make people understand, the policymakers, the lawmakers all over, you know, understand, you know, what the kind of research we're doing, so that we can, you know, get support, get more support and all those things, so that the political will be there. Because if they understand, the political will be there. Otherwise, it will not be there, especially in this area, the area of agricultural biotechnology. The use of biotechnology in agriculture to improve crops, you know, to improve, you know, other products and what, and they improve animals, even the human beings, of course, you know, to take care of some of the diseases, the debilitating diseases like cancer. You can use this technology, of course, to bring permanent healing, you know, using gene therapy. So it's a technology that we really need to communicate very, very well. Take communication as our all in all, because with it you can make a lot of breakthroughs. So science communication is all about telling our own story, telling your own story. If you don't do it, others will do it for you. And you know how they will do it? They will do it the wrong way. So, science communication is about telling your own story. If you don't do it, others will do it for you. And do you know how they will do it for you? It's this way. The dangers of misinformation is more than the risk of silence. So, protest, like this is just an example, what we've been going through in Nigeria. This is coming from the people on the other side. And who are those people? Environmentalists, you know, they engage in protests, media campaigns, petitions, court cases. They've taken us to court several times. And they took us to court, I think, about 2 times. The first one we won it, and one is ongoing. And then they, publish editorials, social media. They go on the social media, Twitter, WhatsApp, Word, Facebook. They write very negative things. And then they also go into one-on-one engagements. They even reach out to even to Mr. President. They reach out to him, especially about the copy and cotton. When cotton was actually approved for environmental release, they went to court, they took to court and all those, but we won the case. And the same thing with the cowpea. So like, look at this one. There's a Punch publication here in 2021 by Greg Odogu. When we think of food as just as a commodity for the market, then we have missed the point. So this is by Nimo Bassi. After 10 years of research, filters and what, by Safety Communication, the federal government approved this registration and commercial release of a new genetically modified cowpea. So the GM bean was genetically engineered for ravaging pests. But anyway, it's a negative publication anyway. The details, if you Google that paper, you will see the details. But it was a very negative one. He wrote very, very negative things, and it got us worried. So the trust challenge, so you have to build trust and credibility. People want to know what you care about. People want to know that you care before they care about what you know. So who do you think your stakeholders trust most? So building that trust, is really a difficult thing. You have to have empathy. You have to listen. You have to show that you care, because they're taking your product as your research product that you spent so many years, spent money to do, and it's coming out. People are about benefiting from it, but others are coming to shoot it down. So you still have to show empathy. Yeah, put yourself in their shoes. But then those things that they worry about, you have to try to explain to them, try to tell them. Yeah, especially in this our agri biotech products. A lot of regulation goes into it. So when you tell them about regulation, about the safety, how safety assessments are being carried out and what, so when you have to explain the whole process of safety, because they are highly regulated. That so once you explain this, in few seconds, of course, some people will begin to understand that yes, the safety aspect is being taken care of. So let's look at the gap challenge. What is the building understanding and then attract attention, bring science closer to the people, and then this rule is actually critical in building general and specific knowledge of science, impacting specific educational aspects, capacity strengthening. You have to strengthen the capacity of people, managing difficult situations, and so on and so forth. So we actually carried out some activities, in order to bring the science behind BT copy development closer to the people, and then to dull the noise of the crusaders. So these are like trying to break, these prejudices, against this. So dulling their noise and all. So I think the remaining part of the presentation is all about the strategies that we put in place, in order to, bring down these anti-campaigns. So what we all went through, sharing the experience, that's what I'm just about doing. So that was before a food is, a GM food is actually finally approved for food, feed, and fiber. You have to, apply to the regulatory agency that we have in place. So the good thing is that Nigeria has a safety valve in place, a regulatory agency that's saddled with the responsibility of safety and all, and that's the NDMA. And we have the DG who is here in our midst with us, and some staff of the NDMA. So there was a pre-submission, post-release, and then the way forward. So we carried out some seminars, toured some media houses, seeing is believing tours, Farmers Field Day, production and dissemination of information, radio and TV programs before the application for the release. So with those pre-activities, going to media houses, talking with the reporters, with the editors at the media houses, with the managers and what, making them to understand. If you engage the media, of course, you will have a multiplying effect, because the media will carry your story further. Make them understand, strengthen their capacity. That's what we've been doing. These are some of the workshops that we have held, of course, in the past. And then the BT copy is always the heart of discussions. Engagement with high-level policymakers. We have met the ministers of agriculture, minister of science and tech, and what, all the scientific group all together, professors, all of us, we are like one family under the OFAP family. Of course, all the research institutes that are actually engaged in this. So Farmers Field Day was also organized for them to go and see the cowpea on the field. How is it faring? At least seeing is believing. So we took, some, this AFAN, All Farmers Association members, and then some of these trials were done on the farmer's field. And as the farmer sees it, farmer is a practical person. You cannot deceive him. As he sees it, as it works on his farm, and when he discovers it's better than what he has, what you have given him is better. No any other person can actually convince him to drop what you have given him. Considering the fact that whatever you have given him is safe, is being scrutinized. Is the safest, food in history, GM foods, of course, because they are highly regulated. Other foods are not regulated. Organic foods are not regulated. Conventional breeding methods, are not regulated at all. But this one, what you are eating. So it's even safer for me to eat a GM food because it's highly regulated, highly scrutinized. It takes 13, 14 years for you to come out with a safe and wholesome GM food. So we also engage, on the social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter. These are some of the, the outcome, the data generated from our social media pages. This is Facebook. We have over 200,000. I think it should be more than this now. Facebook engagements. Twitter is 4,000 weekly. Instagram, we launched it many years ago. And then visitors on our website. And then production of documentaries. We've produced so much documentaries about the cowpea. Some of these documentaries are posted on either our website or the social media, or we share it with friends and then on TVs. So the media engagement, of course, training the media and building and then strengthening their capacity is also one of the things that was actually carried out. So the aim for the tour to get more information on the ongoing research work at the institute, as well as equip them with science-based information on the potentials of agri-biotech in Nigeria. So we had like 60, that was long ago. And then the outcome, usually after trainings, they go on publishing what they have learned, and they publish, give people the right information. That's actually the right thing to do for reporters. If you're a science reporter, you have to give factual information. If your information has no facts, or is not coming from an authority, someone who is an authority in that field, then you haven't done anything. So we had this outcome, 17 online and print newspaper publication, from TV houses and what. So then we also did an outreach. I think we engaged we engaged the NTA for almost like, I don't know, I think for many, for like it was for 4 months, I did 12 months period or so, a quarter period, about 3-4 times. And then we did with TVC. We also did same with TVC, NTA, and then Radio Nigeria, FRCN. So it's all over. These are like video links. You can actually get this presentation. You can get it on your flash so that you will have access to it, and you can use it as a resource material. We have video links here. Through this video link, you can actually watch all the documentaries that we have prepared, and short clips. So tour of media houses, Yes, I think I had mentioned this earlier on. We visited so many media houses and engaged with them. I had a talk with them. It was a whole talk to discuss with editorial management on the true position of modern biotechnology in Nigeria, to inform the media government position on the technology, to brief them on latest advances and achievements of Nigeria as far as the technology is concerned, and then seek ways of collaborations. Of course, I think most of them we are collaborating with them now to ensure that issues of modern biotechnology are correctly reported in the media, assure the media of authentic information and access to research. So, yes, I think this was at NTA. Yeah, we also visited NTA and we had meetings with the management of NTA. And the outcome here was by the executive director NTA. It gladdens my heart that Nigerian agricultural institutions are coming together to advance a cause for the good of our country. We have to do it because we are faced with so many challenges. If we don't use technology in agriculture, we cannot get there where we will have food security because of our population and because of other menaces. We have COVID-19 challenges, we have climate change, global warming, we have a lot, insect and pest infestation, so we are really grappling with a lot of problems. Urbanization is reducing, is causing loss of soil fertility, is reducing the land meant for farming and so many things. So we just have to think out of the box to make food available. So it's always been in my mind, like these are responses that are very positive. If you have the presentation later, you can actually go through all of them. Time is not on our side. So this is also another outcome that came, another outcome, documentaries. In our YouTube, on our YouTube we have 298 views on what, close to what, so many TV and radio programs. Let's keep on. And then minister's endorsement. I know why I put this minister's endorsement here at the beginning. I think around that time we had problems with the two ministers here, side by side. But now I think that is gone because of the one-on-one engagement that we had with them, the quality information we shared with them, and then assuring them of the safety procedures and all. I think at the end, they all like, yeah, this is good. And the Minister of Science says anyone who says GM technology is hazardous to humans would provide scientific evidence. This is science. Science does not lie. It's evidence-based. Science is practical. It's the provider of solutions and what. And so science is same everywhere, anywhere you carry it out. So we base all our arguments should be based on facts and figures. So another minister said we won't run away from GMOs simply because we are afraid. Till date, we have not seen or heard of any evidence that it is unsafe, and this is very true. Go to America, go to China, go everywhere. It's just, there's no any false information. There's no any information that it has caused death or what. So post-release activities. After the release, we did all those awareness and we got our cowpea environmentally released, and then we got it approved for commercial release. So now, after the release also, we now did another, outreach. So as soon as NDMA granted approval for the cowpea, the aunties were quick to book an appointment with the Minister of Environment. Their mission was to ask government to direct NDMA to retract the approval, but it wasn't possible because we were far ahead of them. They were all government agencies, of course, and with our ministries. There's no way a government agency will approve something that the ministry will say no to it because it's same government. We cannot fight ourselves. And we know that we're doing the right thing, and we know that we're doing it for the benefit of our people, to enhance food security and then to bring about economic growth. So we did a lot of press conferences, and these are all the outcomes. Let's keep on moving. And then we also did commentaries, Radio Nigeria, of course, 13 weeks commentary many times. We repeated them so many times. Let's keep on moving. Communication to the grassroots using the local languages. Yes, we engage some radio houses using the local languages for better understanding of the farmers who are actually the primary beneficiaries of this technology. And so Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa words, and that was okay. This next, this Tribune, a Tribune publication, of course, we also engage the print media, and so many and so many and so many. So these are it. Let's keep on moving. Yeah, Tribune, media, and leadership and what all these publications. We were just everywhere. Um, Everywhere, we're just everywhere. So you can see that the media is actually part of our success story. So media is very critical, very key in actually moving this technology forward. And not only this, but any other thing that you're doing, any endeavor. Once you involve the media, you've got it right. So Instagram, social media is actually for everyone. I mean, it's always there. So now we've come to end of lessons learned. What are the lessons learned? Awareness is never enough. All opportunities available can be used to increase knowledge. Anti-technology claims are over-exaggerated, and more should be done to dull their noises. And then policymakers can be more supportive through constant engagement. You have to keep on feeding them, providing them with those evidences, those factual, information. Children and youth are sustainable force towards promoting awareness of this technology. Farmers are willing to accept this technology contrary to general perception. Fun activities like drama, quiz, games, and what, I think we've been doing that. So way forward, as we move towards release, anyway, the copy has already been released, and that's it. Uh, you know, we're actually going to the grassroots, like, meeting the grassroots, telling them more about this. And then we are also carrying out, eating is believing. At this point, that is what we need. Because our products, the beans, the harvest of last year, I'm sure some farmers maybe have started selling them. And so, but we need the consumers to buy. We need the consumer confidence. We need to depose that confidence in them. We need to prove to them that yes, this product is safe and what. Because if the products are not bought, if the farmer harvests, he gets a bumper harvest and he's not able to sell it, of course he might not. So we need more, public engagement, consumer acceptance, and that's what we're fighting for. So outreach continues. Of course, there's no stop. So then we're also in the process of recruiting ambassadors. So I'm sure at the end of by the end of this workshop, we are going to get ambassadors from this workshop, more ambassadors to join, so you can connect to the grassroots more, down to your villages and what. So we're targeting a lot, and then participation in agri-issues. So acknowledgements here, I wish to really acknowledge ATF, NABDA, IEL, Zaria, and the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, of course, because some of these presentations, is in a joint efforts, from all the institutions. So I want to really appreciate you all for your time, and efforts, and for coming, especially those of you that came far away from Ebonyi, of course, Ebonyi, from Abia, from Anambra, from Imo, and what. I want to welcome you all, and we will engage more with you people. I'm sure all of you that came, you will be our champions. You can also invite us to your states. We can always come, and the beans is available. The beans seeds are available for this year planting. It depends on where you are, your location, the planting time. Like in the north central, northeast, the planting time is in August. But in the east, I wouldn't know, but you may know better. But we can also give you the contact of the seed companies that are actually selling these seeds. Is early maturing, and 75 days is ready, and it's really not that expensive. maybe it's like 1,005 per kg or so, and that's not that much. And it is not as if it's not a hybrid. You can always replant it if you want. If you want to buy new seeds, it's all the same, but it's quite high yielding, and as well, it's resilient. It's a quality seed, and that's it. And we have more. We have here with us the principal investigator of Teller Maize, Professor Rabiu. He will also tell you more about Teller Maize. Teller Maize is also another seed that's coming very soon. Farmers will start using them. And I want to thank you one and all for your attention.